and V-Trans march towards excellence. For the same, I would like to introduce the speaker. Mr. Rajiv Bhattacharya is a seasoned executive with 30 plus years experience in profit center operations, P&L management and organization transformational, a strategic leader and problem solver. Rajiv has a track record of turning around business, driving digital transformation, and optimizing supply chain management. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Rajiv Bhattacharya, Vice President, Strategy and Project at V-Trans India Limited.
The green one? Okay. Yes, very good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here. The first session, of course, was very interesting in terms of understanding how you have revolutionized your supply chain, how you have transformed the supply chain in your company. Some of the things, of course, we are also doing, I'm going to talk about from the transportation side of it. You covered the whole supply chain, but I'll be more covering the transportation part of it, that how we are transforming. But before we do that, what I thought of sharing with you the total transportation industry landscape, because unfortunately, logistics still is not considered as an industry. So there are a lot of unorganized data which are flowing across. So what we have done is we have partnered with various research individuals, and we have compiled that what is the kind of landscape we are operating, what is the size of the market in India today for the transportation part of it, primarily the surface part. So thought of sharing this information with you, and then I will take you through the journey of V-Trans subsequently. So if you see this, the whole industry in total, now one of the biggest discussion which we are talking about is the logistic cost in India, which was hovering around 13-14%, which came out a few years back. Recently, there was an article which said the numbers have reduced drastically, and it is coming around 9%, which has been published in one of the research papers recently. And so there's still a debate going on, whether it's a 9%, whether it's 13%, whether it's 14%. But keep that arguments aside, this definitely is an industry where there is a lot of work which is happening, and the cost is something which definitely is a concern for the companies and for the government. And we are all working together to see that how this cost comes down. As you know, that this industry is still pretty fragmented and it's not very organized. If you talk about the trucking industry, you have multiple levels of players who are operating at single truck operators. You have multiple 5, 10, 15, 100, 20, 200 truck operators. And then you have the very large operators who are operating with 1,000 kind of trucks. But this is not completely fragmented in terms of there is no integration which is happening between different transporters, and that's where the optimization is not happening within the transporter community. There have been players who have been trying to do it, but still it is at a very nascent stage, and that's where still remains pretty fragmented. Now, of course, as I talked about, that government has definitely done a lot of work in terms of bringing the logistic industry. The NLP is one of the major initiative of the government where it has been rolled out as a detailed policy document, which is helping overall the industry. And of course, these different initiatives are linking to various other activities within the logistic industry, and which is helping overall all of us who are part of this logistic domain. Now, if you see the total transportation sector which is there. So this is roughly about $500 billion kind of a market which we are talking about, we are addressing, which will be, by 2029 it will be about $500 billion. Today it is about $300 billion market. So it's quite a big and a large size of the market which we are talking about. And of course, the domestic share is about 66% of this total size of the market. And out of the major portion, of course, again, is in the transportation, is the surface transportation, which constitutes more than the So the road transportation constitutes about, it's there in the next slide. Yeah. So this is the size of the market in terms of the road network. So 40% of the volume moves by surface transport. Then we have 26%, which is the warehousing. Then in terms of the different costs in terms of order processing, inventory management, those things put together is the total size. And if I talk about within the transportation part, there are basically three parts to it. One is the courier and the express business part of it. Then we have the part truckloads, the PTL, which is less than a truckload. And then we have the full truckload, which is the FTL part of it. And if I see the distribution within this, the parcel market is around 18 billion. The part truckload is about 15 billion. But the major chunk is 120 billion is from the full truckload industry, which is purely fragmented kind of a business. And of course, e-commerce is picking up, which is around $4 billion now, which is now definitely growing in terms of the e-commerce market. And out of that, hyper-local is one, and then of course, we have the on-demand aggregator models which are coming up. So if I talk about within this segment, the ocean roughly contributes about 8%, air is 1%, and the balance is surface movement. Out of the surface, 11% goes through the PTL and 86% is FTL business. And this is growing at a rate of 8 to 16%, like road transport is growing at a rate of 8 to 9%. And express is growing faster at a rate of 16 to 17% is the CAGR, which the express industry is growing. Now, if we talk about the part truckload, so part truckload primarily is somewhere in between an FTL and an express kind of a product. Now, this has evolved primarily because of the size of the business, which is done by different companies for their distributors, for their retailers. So where a full truckload cannot be made, that's where the part truckload comes in. And really this comes as a big cost saver for the manufacturing or for the distribution companies, where they use this product to distribute their product across the country, because this is definitely much cheaper when it comes to reaching the customers compared to an express model. And unfortunately, there are not many players available in the PTL segment in an all-India basis. There are regional players available, but at an all-India level, there are very few players who have mastered this. There are many people who have tried to do it, but they have not succeeded to that great extent, because the biggest problem here is the movement of load from both the sides. So the imbalance of the load creates a entry barrier for people into this industry. And the right mix, what needs to be done here in terms of the kind of product which are being carried to have the optimized utilization of the truck is a science, and it was an art earlier, but now it has become a science. So I will talk about that. How do we do this? How do we expertise this into this particular product? PTL, of course, you have national players. There are a few national players who are definitely operating at an all India level. But majorly, it is a regional or a lane-specific operators who operates in this PTL market size. Now, why regional primarily is the short distance. Because of the short distance, they are able to manage the balance in both the sides. But when it comes to pan-India operation, that's where the challenge comes in terms of putting up the loads together from both the sides and making the trucks run in both sides. So, coming to the government initiatives in this industry, as I talked about the NLP part of it. So, of course, there are other areas where government has pitched in. One is the Sagarmala project, which is primarily the entire road network, the national highways and the state highways improvement which is happening. When we actually start moving across the country, like I drive a lot, keep driving across the country, and I can see every month there has been an improvement in the roads. Every month there's a road which is getting four lanes or getting from 2 lanes to or 4 lanes to 6 lanes. That kind of changes are continuously happening. And that has helped the industry to a great extent. Although you will argue that, okay, these highways are coming, but then it's also adding to our toll taxes or toll charges, which is now, for shorter distance, it is going to about 13-14%. And for long distance, it comes to around 9 to 10% of the total logistic cost, which is still hidden at this moment. But this is a big cost which is actually coming. But on the contrary, of course, we are getting benefit in terms of the truck utilization. The trucks are utilized better. At least in a month, 1.5 to 2 trips are getting additional compared to last 4-5 years. The truck maintenance have reduced drastically. Driver fatigue has reduced, which is reducing into the accidents. And of course, the best part is the transit time. So all this put together, I think that is to some extent negating the cost which is getting added because of the toll. But overall, I think these projects are really helping as the logistic industry, all of us, in terms of reaching at the right price and the right time. The digitalization initiative which has been done, which is, we have seen first, we started with the GST portals, and which is very well integrated now. Another new thing which has come up is the ULIP, Unified Logistic Interface Platform, where there are 8 ministries which are connected with this ULIP platform. And this integration with this ULIP platform is really helping company like us. So it is not only because as a PTL operator, we also operate a lot of spot truck procurement. So with this, we are able to actually find out the vehicle quality. We are able to find the right sizing of the vehicle, because many times what happens is, say, it could be 18-ton vehicle, but then our people are putting it as 15 tons. So actually, we are not able to find out the weight loss. So with this, we are able to augment that. Second is we are trying to find, we are able to get in terms of the right information of the expiry of the permits, the fitness test, insurance expiry. All those informations we are able to get through the integration before we depart the truck. Another advantage also through the Sarthi portal is we are also able to validate the driver. So with the driver's license number, we can check whether this driver has been blacklisted, and then we keep a repository of this driver, of his behavior and other thing of the past, so that we start giving them rating of the drivers, so that next time if he has done something wrong, then the system rejects this driver. The another part, beauty of this system, what we are trying to do is, we are integrating this system with our carbon emission reports. So what we are trying to do is, through this, we are getting the right vehicle make and the vehicle sizing, the gross weight of the vehicle. And we have the manufacturer's carbon emission norms per kilometer. So from there, we are trying to pull out the report or pull out the data and then synchronizing with my truck trip and and the kilometer, of course, I have. With that, I'm integrating and saying that this is the total carbon emission happened in this particular trip. And then I can break down that per kilometer, per kg wise to the consignment. So this work is in progress. Hopefully another 2-3 months, we should be ready with this information for our customers. So as customers, I can, after 2-3 months, I can able to produce you at a consignment level, how much of carbon emission have you consumed or how much carbon have you consumed for sending the shipment, which will help in your ESG reporting going forward. So that's the advantage of this digitization, which we are able to bring in through this different platforms which government has given. Of course, again, from the ULIP, you are able to also track the vehicles through the fast track tracking. Of course, there's a delay of 3 hours. Every 3 hours, we are able to get the information. But there also where your GPS or a SIM-based tracking fails, the last resort is tracking through the fast tag movement. We are also trying to find out that if a full truck has gone and the delivery has been completed through the geofencing, and the e-way bill has not been closed. So that also we are trying to track through the fast tag and the GPS coordinates. The truck has reached, but the e-way bill has not been closed, and the truck has already moved out. So with that, we are trying to figure out the exceptions and try to close the e-way bills which are still open. In terms of the AI part of it, it's a very nascent stage we have started because we have digitized our system almost about 25, 26 years back. So we have a depository of this entire data of last 25 years. So for us to do a machine learning or to use this artificial intelligence based on the old data is much easier because we have the data available with us. So we have started working on this at a very smaller scale, but of course, as and when this technology becomes much more affordable, we start using this because at this moment, still the AI is not that affordable. And in fact, for example, we are trying to use the AI in our video analytics. There's one gentleman here we've been talking to, but still the cost is something which definitely is prohibitive from a logistics perspective because you know that we operate in paise and rupees per kg. And those kind of high-end technologies may not be suitable or may not give the return of the investment at this moment. So in small bits and pieces, we are doing it. But in the large-scale adaptation, I think it will take some more time into these technologies. Now, having all these things, what we have done is we have created a center of excellence within VTrans. And this we call it as Innovex. So Innovex is a combination of innovation and excellence. And under this platform, we have actually doing the digital transformation and the overall transformation of the organization. So these are the different parts of the Innovex projects which we have started, which talks about the technology part of it, which is, of course, the entire SOP and the adherence are brought into the exception management in the system. So first mile and the last mile is getting digitized so that the errors are reduced to a great extent. And then, of course, we are using this technology for increasing or improving our infrastructures. And of course, the entire training and development, we are able to digitize and because we are spread across 1,200 branches, so we need to have a digital platform where we can put this training and development to our people. On the engineering part, of course, we have deployed a new ERP system in one of our division now, which is VExpress, and we are moving the ERP solution also to VTrans, which is a combination of a TMS system and a financial suite, which is a globally accepted financial system we have adopted. We are creating a command center, which I'll talk about slightly in the next slides. we are adopting to the new technologies which are required for the different digitization of our various activities, what we do. And of course, the visualization, and I talked about the machine learning part of it. We are also creating a complete data center because we felt that data is very, very crucial. And most of the time what happens is when we started this project, it was an interesting story. When we started this project, we started connecting all our BI tools into our server crashed. It went so slow that we were not able to operate the entire normal processes. So then we realized that the amount of data which is pulled by these analytic tools, you will not be able to do it on, leave the prod server, but I'm talking even at a backup server or a database server also, you will not be able to do it. So what we created is we started creating data warehouses. From there, we started making the data lakes, the data marts. And from the data mart, we are now pulling the data into the BI tools. So with that, the system has become much faster, and we are able to pull the data at least 12 to 13 times in a day. We are trying to pull the data and see the live analytics of various parameters what we monitor. So it is not only identifying what to be monitored, but also at the back end, the technology has to support you to do real-time monitoring. Otherwise, the system does crash. And of course, as we have seen in the news and in the media, that VTrans is expanding exponentially in the next 3 years' time. So of course, we are expanding our network, we are expanding our product portfolios, we are expanding our reach to the entire country. And of course, with that, to do all these things, we have to do a lot of change within the organization, whether it's in terms of the leadership development, whether it's in terms of building the intellectual capital for our company. So all these things we are already started working on to prepare the organization for the 2026 vision, what we have prepared. So this is the command center we are talking about. So what we are trying to do in this command center is bring in the entire exception management. So one, of course, I talked about the surveillance part of it. So surveillance is one part where we bring in the entire exception. So for example, if a box has been thrown, or a labor is standing on the box, or if a pallet is not being used. So those exceptions we would be capturing through the AI-enabled systems, and which will come in the command center. Then, of course, different other sensors like fire systems, access controls, everything will be connected here. And of course, the GPS. So all the trucks which we operate, the GPS feed from the exception point of view will be coming to the control center. For example, if a truck has not moved in 4 hours en route, so this will come as an alert. So various alerts or the route has been deviated from the original route. So those exceptions will come in the command center. Similarly, we are also getting the exception system from the transport management system we have, TMS system, which is our core application. So here, in a life cycle of a consignment, anywhere there is an exception, this is coming to the control tower. For example, if a shipment is lying for more than 12 hours in any location, so that alert comes here. And then from there, the task management is created to mitigate the probable failure of a consignment. So what you're trying to do here is intercept before an incident happens. So with this, of course, we are able to improve our service quality. We are improve our overall TAT, which is we operate. And overall, this system is really helping us to get to the next level where we are able to commit what our service level we have drawn for ourselves. So talking about VTrans a bit, because I've been correlating a lot of things with VTrans, but let me take you through what is VTrans. And of course, many of you know about it. Many of you are already our customers. But just to reiterate the point, we have been in this business for more than 6 decades. To be precise, this is our 65th year. We are in this business of moving goods from one place to another place. And of course, if I talk about the total experience, we are about 75 years, because before the start of the company, there was some form of transportation which was being done before that. So total, if I put together, is about 75 years we have been in the business. And this is how the journey of VTrans has happened, has evolved right from 1945 to 2023. How do I go back? Red one, no? Yeah. So this is how, so it started primarily as a regional player in way back in 58 till about 80, 81, when we actually became a national player. We started expanding into other parts of the country. And of course, in 2000, it was rebranded as VTrans. Earlier, it was as Vijay Transport. And of course, from there, the transformation started. And the next level of transformation has started this year, where we are taking VTrans to a different heights. We are taking to a different platform altogether from 2023 onwards. So one of our core strengths, of course, have been our principles. And because of this principle, this company has been successful for so many years, whereas most of the company in that era has vanished. Except one or two companies, I think most of them has perished. But only these 2-3 companies have been able to survive the entire weather of India, which has transformed from 1948 onwards. So these are the 3 divisions which we operate. VTrans, of course, is a parent company, but it also operates as a division, where in VTrans, we are mainly into part truck loads, full truck loads, over-dimensional cargoes, with multiple delivery options. And of course, we have various payment terms for the customers so that we make business easy for the customers. V-Express is a purely express door-to-door services, where we cater all India reach through door-to-door and multimodal services, which mainly comprises of road and air movements. And of course, we also have an e-commerce arm within V-Express, where we do last-mile deliveries for large e-com companies. And we have V-Logis, which is a complete 3PL and a complete solution provider into warehousing, dedicated and shared facilities. And of course, we do also specialized warehousing. Like we have a chem store, which is a chemical store, which is can store any type of chemical, except I think 2 categories. Rest all categories of chemicals we can store in this warehouse. We have all the licenses for storing this chemicals in this. And of course, with this portfolio of products we have, we are definitely a large integrated operator today, where we offer end-to-end solutions. Some of the key facts, we are a 1,500 crore company, plus crore company, and we are aiming to move towards 3,000 crores by 2026. We operate through 1,200 plus branches. We handle about 90 million articles per month, about 2 million tons of material we handle. In total, we have about 1.5 million square feet of warehousing across the country. We have dedicated 2,500 vehicles which are GPS enabled. Apart from that, we take about 1,000 odd vehicles every day on a spot basis. So roughly about, you can say about another 25,000 vehicles we take on a monthly basis. Of course, we are ISO certified. The total team strength is about 3,400. 100 numbers have increased now from this presentation. And we serve about 1 lakh customers across the different divisions across the country. And of course, we are a great place to work for the last 3 consecutive years. Just to talk about a bit of our integrated approach, we do help customers in terms of network designing. We also do optimization of the transportation solutions. And of course, warehouse planning is something which we help customers through our solution approach. We also do center of gravity analysis for customers to identify the right mix of your DCs and your warehouses. Network design, of course, we primarily use optimization tools to help you out in making the right design. Of course, we use this design also for ourselves. And that's where I talked about the PTL part. We are being able to succeed and be the #1 position in PTL primarily because of our optimization capability. So one is, of course, the experience of the team we have, and the second part is in terms of the various tools we use to optimize and this is a continuous process. We do every time, every month, we keep doing this optimization. This transport, of course. And we also do warehouse modelers for our customers, where we help them to model the warehouse depending upon the different SKU levels, the different product category, and the distribution patterns. Then, of course, the inventory management part of it, we help customers to even do inventory management. Dashboard is the integral part because without seeing, of course, we can't act. So dashboards are a very integral part of any supply chain. And of course, we help in building dashboards for our customers. So apart from transportation, as I said, we also are into solution providing to our customers. And we give a complete integrated solution to our customers, right from warehousing to distribution to analytics. So with that, I end my presentation. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.